Okay, another car wash. Time to wash this thing. Okay, even bad down here in Dallas, it's still a little chilly, so that was a little cold, but the van needed it. Even though it's probably going to get dirty again here in the near future, that's okay. It needed a little rinse, just a little rinse. But you know, I've said it before and I'll say it again. If you have a van with a max fan, do not go through car washes. You must self-wash your van. You will destroy your max fan. I think, pretty sure. I mean, think about it. You're going through there. No, I'm not risking it. So with these vans, yep, you got to go through a quarter car wash, self-washing, or if you have somewhere you can do it yourself with a hose, whatever. Either way, do not go through a regular car wash with your van with a max fan. So on the OBD reader, it showed me cylinder 5 misfire. To me, that is actually a relief because I know exactly what the problem is. It's an ignition coil. And before, when I was in Florida, on my way down to Florida with Keith, I had a similar thing happen. Cylinder 1 misfire. So I had to dozy the van. I couldn't even get past like 40 miles an hour, but I had to dozy the van to the nearest AutoZone, or I forget, maybe it was Vance Auto, whatever. And I got a new ignition coil and put it in there, and the van was running great. And then eventually the check engine light went off. So that kind of scared me, and I decided to purchase a whole, because this is a 6-cylinder, so I got the whole kit, all 6 new ignition coils, and I carry them in the van. And now I'm showing a misfire on cylinder 5. So I'm going to replace that ignition coil and see what happens. So if you ever have a check engine light on, here's another van life pro tip. Carry one of these. That way, when you have a check engine light on, you can read it yourself, and you could kind of, you know, figure out. A lot of times, it's something very simple. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop the hood. I'm gonna replace cylinder 5 ignition coil and see what happens. I'm gonna show you exactly what it is and how to do it. So check this out. Okay, so here's the engine compartment. So see this where it says number 5 there? Now that's labeled because I labeled them. This is the ignition coil. This goes all the way down, and that is what gives spark to the spark plug, or juice to the spark plug. So what I did is I labeled each ignition coil, so that way I wouldn't have to look it up every time to see which one is number 1 and number 2. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I had just replaced, which one? Oh, the one back there that's not labeled. I replaced that one on the way down to Florida, and now I got to replace this one right next to it. How ironic. So anyways, we're gonna get to work. All we got to do is undo this part, pull out that little bolt there, and then this will pop up, and we put the new one in. The only problem with having the Enduro on the back like this is I don't really have access to the garage now unless I take it off, which is a pain in the ass. So I got to get my tools from the front now, because I'm not taking that Enduro off just to get to my tools when I could do it a little easier this way. Yeah, not bad at all. All I had to do is move the toilet, and there's the tools right there. This is why it's very important to have tools with you, the right tools, when you travel. Because if something goes wrong and you need to make a minor repair, you know, and you have the ability to do it yourself without tools, you're not going to be able to do anything. I had a toolkit in my first van and this van for a little bit, but it was kind of a piece of junk toolkit, and I decided to spend, I think I spent like almost $500 on, I put together a toolkit, this and plus a bunch of other stuff, just so I have the ability to work on this van. I wanted to have the ability to change an alternator on the side of the road if I had to. So the first thing you want to do is take this off. So you see this little red tab, you just want to, you know, that kind of like unlocks it. So there you go. And then what I like to do is take a flathead or anything you can to go in between here, and I just kind of give it a little nudge, because you know, these things are all plastic and they could break relatively easy, so you want to be very careful with how you do this. Okay, so after finagling with it for a little bit, I got it off, you know, and really be careful with this, guys, because it is just cheap plastic. So once you get that off of here, you want to just, you know, put it out of the way, get it out of the way. So now see this bolt here, you want to pull that out, but you want to be very careful when you take that out and putting it back on. So I'll show you why in a second. And when you get it, just do it nice and slow so you don't drop the bolt, and you'll never find it if you drop the bolt in here. Don't lose that. So the next step is to actually get the ignition coil out itself, and for the most part it's pretty simple. Just should be able to just pull it out. If you have to get some leverage under there somehow, because it's on the spark plug right now, so there's no good way to grab it, but you just basically gotta just get it out. Ugh, come on. There it is. So that is the ignition coil. So these were like, I want to say like 50 or 60 bucks a piece when you buy them individually. I went on Amazon and I was able to buy a whole bundle of these, the 6 of them, and you're going to get a better deal. So definitely carry these in your van. For some reason, they just go. I think today they just make cheap ones. They're so cheap now. So I'm going to go ahead and replace this, and hopefully that's all the issue was. So we're basically going to do the same thing, just backwards now. So we're going to put that in there, and then we're going to have to push it down right on. So now that's on the spark plug. And by the way, when I get back to the shop, when I get back to Chicago, I'm going to relabel this 5. So that way I don't have to figure out which one it is on the road. And then we just plug this back in. You should hear a little click. Oh, there it is. And then push the little red tab in, and that's it. Okay, so we're going to put that bolt in, and you're not going to tighten it crazy. And the reason for that is because all this is plastic. You know, I should have showed you before I put this back in, but all this is plastic with a little brass fitting. So if you over tighten this, you're just going to spin it, and then you'll never, getting it out will be a pain in the ass. That happened on my number 1 coil. So we're just going to put the bolt in, and we're going to just do a tiny snug. Kind of like when you do the oil change with the drain bolt, you just do a decent snug. You don't want to over tighten it. That's what I call it, a decent snug. So we're going to push that down. We're going to tighten the bolt. This is actually fairly easy. Okay. By the way, this was 9mm. I'm sorry, 8mm. So we're just gonna, all right, starting at that's it, just a little snug, and we are done. So make sure that has connection, which looks like it does, and that's it. That's it. Very, very simple to replace an ignition coil on these vans. Some vans are stupid, and Like on the 40 Conliner, if I remember correctly, they were kind of a pain in the ass because where the spark, like, it was just weird. I'm not even gonna get into it, but anyways, yeah, that's all it took. Let's see what we can do with that check engine light now. Okay, so I didn't get it on camera. I should have, but I was playing with it first. So in order to reset the check engine light, and unfortunately it does the oil change or oil service as well, what you do is you put the key in the ignition, right? You push down the accelerator and the brake at the same time. And then you turn the ignition on. Don't start the engine, just turn the ignition on. And you wait a couple seconds and it'll say service oil light in progress. And after about 15 seconds, the check engine light started to blink, right? And then it said, and then it went back on, it went solid. And then it said, reset complete. So then I started the engine and the check engine light went off. Like in the backcountry of north of Dallas. This is pretty cool. This road, I love roads like this. This would be a beautiful motorcycle ride. And you know, it's actually got me thinking, I cannot wait for summer. I cannot wait for a motorcycle ride again. Okay, so here's a little something I want to talk about. If you watched my video on my, I think it was called Simple Electric Setup. So basically, you'll understand if you watch this video. Right up here, behind this curtain, I have a switch. That is a power source selector switch. And I had that on exterior power because I was running the generator this morning. I ran the generator because I didn't want to start the van I was making coffee, I was making breakfast, a little microwave thing, and I didn't want to run the van power because I had the ignition coil issue. So I started the generator and I had to flip the switch to exterior power. Well, after I fixed everything and got back on the road, I forgot to hit the switch to go back to van power, basically. So now my house batteries were not taking a charge, and I've been driving for maybe an hour. Well, that's an hour of charging that I didn't get. So check this out. I had just installed this, I don't know, a few months ago, and that's how I realized that my batteries weren't taking a charge. It's at 13.4, so now they're taking a charge now. So I basically, you know, I just told myself I got to get in the habit of monitoring that that voltage reader right there. That voltage reader is to the house batteries. So if you are, you know, if you're traveling or whatever, basically what I'm trying to say is it's not a bad idea to have a voltage meter in your cabin, in your cockpit, sorry, where you drive, so that way you can monitor your house batteries taking a charge during travel. It's just a good idea to have that ability. So that's why I installed that there. I also have those switches which don't do anything yet, but I plan on having lights on the van, like those big LED bar lights. So that's what those switches are for. So yeah, just another little pro tip: have a voltage reader to your house batteries somewhere that you can monitor while you're driving, just so you know if you're taking a charge or not. In my case, I forgot to hit the stupid switch. So I just noticed that, and I'm like, oh, oops. Anyways, yeah. Oh God, a cone in the middle of the road. Ooh! Ran that over. So I'm here at a casino, Choctaw Casino Resort. I don't know, whatever. I can't even pronounce it. Whatever. I think I'm gonna chill here for a little bit. I might even call this home for the night. I'm not sure. I am about an hour and a half away from where I'm meeting my buddy Steve, and I can always just drive that in the morning. So I might go, I think I'm gonna go hit the roulette table. I'm not a degenerate. I don't ever really do this that often, but sometimes I like to go hit the roulette table. Anyways, I may stay here the night, I may not, I don't know. I do need to stop at a Walmart. I was gonna kind of just top off on supplies and everything, top off on fuel, just top everything off. Even though I am pretty good, but still, top everything off before we go camping out in the middle of God knows where. So, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this video short. Thanks for watching, and the next video will be all about camping with my buddy Steve. So again, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, keep it simple, and keep it real. Talk to you guys.